Hi there, folks. This is Sean Broderick for the Oxford Club, and I'm here in Carlsbad, California, and I'm speaking to Scott Melbye, and he's the Executive Vice President of Uranium Energy Corp, symbol UEC, trades in the U.S. They have some great properties down in Texas. They're expanding the size of the resource, and they have real potential as the price of uranium goes higher to bring a lot more production on. Scott, could you maybe speak to that?
Yeah, we've got a very interesting and quite simple business model that is really focusing on low cost, low capital cost, low operating cost, in situ recovery assets in Texas, which we think is one of the best jurisdictions globally to be mining uranium. But we are a little bit unique and different than some of the other juniors in the space in that we're an unhedged producer, and we believe that the valuable resources that we've identified in South Texas are much more valuable being developed and produced into a higher market down the road. Producing into hedged contracts in the current market for a small profit or break even is not going to be something that excites investors in our space. So we also have to have the discipline, if we're unhedged in periods of low prices, to shut in production. And we did that in South Texas shortly after Fukushima. And while it's been difficult being in a standby mode, we really believe that it's been the right decision, and it's really been in the shareholders' interests. But during this time, we really haven't been sitting on our hands. We've been actively de-risking the operations by permitting, licensing, and discovering additional resources at projects like Burke Hollow. So basically the whole end game in our strategy is to be absolutely ready to bring production in quite quickly and at a very low capital and operating cost to take advantage of the uranium market as it recovers in the coming years.
Right, so you haven't been selling uranium, but you did a cash raise, so you have enough cash for a while anyway, right?
Yes.
And also, you do have one project that I actually went to down in Texas, but that's not the really exciting thing. The really exciting thing is this whole new project that you're going to develop, Burke Hollow. And the other one that I went to, since that was previously operating, you can switch that one back on rather quickly, right?
Exactly. The additional well fields at Palangana, where we have been producing, the lead time to be back into production there is literally a matter of a couple months, which is unheard of in the uranium industry in terms of response time.
Or mining, for that matter.
Exactly. But the Burke Hollow project that you refer to is our most exciting development in that it represents a new discovery in the United States. And what we've seen across the western U.S. is a lot of the projects that are being developed today are products of previous exploration cycles. Might have been discovered in the 70s or 80s and are now being developed. Burke Hollow is a new discovery. Our drilling program there has identified 5 million pounds on a 20,000-acre ranch with very strong landowner relations and a significant structure that extends for 2 or 3 miles on this property that we continue to drill out along that trend. So the potential for additional resources being discovered as part of this very focused drilling program will be something that will be very exciting for our shareholders going forward.
Now, two other things that I want to mention. First of all, this is ISR mining, in situ recovery, which is really kind of a fancy water treatment plant when you come down to it, right? So there isn't a lot of earth being moved around and like stuff like that, right?
It's in that sense, if you like to see big underground mining operations or open pit and big mining equipment, this is not your operation.
You'll be sorely disappointed.
You'll be disappointed.
Yeah.
It's more of a very large water softening process where we drill into a sandstone ore body and we repeat the natural processes that deposited the uranium in the first place in those locations by pumping oxygenated water, very environmentally friendly solutions into that sandstone to oxidize the uranium, put it back into solution, and pump it to the surface. So the capital needs are obviously much lower. We can build a well field operation the size of Palangana for about $10 million. And in a conventional mining operation, that might buy a couple ore haul trucks. So in a tough uranium market, I think you've really got to be in the first or second quartile of cost globally if you're going to make a go of it. We clearly fit that category, and the fact that we're in the United States in a very stable jurisdiction, not only the U.S. but in the state of Texas, is really an attractive source of new supply for utilities, both domestically and internationally.
Speaking of South Texas, I mean, that's like a part of the country that's really rich in like uranium, isn't that right?
Well, we recognize the potential for Texas. It's been a core focus of our company since Amir Adnani founded it just over 10 years ago. But very recently, the USGS, which regularly surveys and participates with the IAEA internationally, they came out with a report late last year that identified South Texas as one of the most prospective areas globally for new uranium exploration discoveries. And we believe that's true. There's very large ranches in the South Texas region that maybe because there's been a preoccupation with oil and gas development, now are looking to uranium exploration on their properties. And so we have a wonderful portfolio of assets in Texas presently, but I think it's safe to say we're going to grow that portfolio with additional acquisitions and drilling and exploration.
Great. Well, that about wraps up my questions. Is there anything you'd like to add before we go?
No, I just think in the uranium space, it's really required a lot of patience on place of investors and us as a company and our employees. But we believe we're very ideally positioned to take advantage of the uranium market recovery. And as difficult as the decisions have been over the last 5 years, we believe that they've been the right decisions, and I think the shareholders will really be rewarded.
Great. The symbol is UEC for Uranium Energy Corp, and keep your eyes on that. I'll look at them more, and thanks very much for speaking to my subscribers today. And you folks stay tuned. There's a lot more coming.
Great. Thanks, Sean.
Sure.